Alright, guys. Just wanted to go live here, do a test stream. So I wanted to talk about Gibson guitars and my forever frustration with this brand and why it's so hard for me to like them. Because I'm really just curious if I'm the only one or if there's others out there that get frustrated with the lack of choice and the just kind of the same old, the obsession with not putting out certain features that I think some of us would like. I'm a longtime Epiphone player, and I've had a few Gibsons. And if you've seen my other videos, you've probably noticed that I don't really play any Epiphones or Gibsons. I'm featuring other guitars, most of them with tremolos. And one of the big gripes I have with, I guess, Epiphone's changing, but this goes back 20 years, is just the lack of features, whether it's, Floyd Rose, even a Kaler, fret nibs, little tiny frets, non-stainless steel, heavy, heavy guitars. That's why I keep the Epiphone I have from 2002. It's from South Korea. It's 8 pounds. I don't want a guitar that weighs 10 pounds. Or throw a Floyd Rose on it and now it's 11 pounds. I don't want a guitar that has fret nibs where when I try to bend the little E string, it gets stuck between the groove between the fret and the nib on the third fret. I've had two guitars. One of them was an Explorer 2007. The other one was, I think, a 2013 Les Paul Standard that both had issues with the high E string getting stuck between the fret nib and the end of the fret. And I know that Gibson makes the Access. Let's see if we can find it. But again, I'm just left not satisfied with our options here. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so, okay, this is new. I haven't seen this color, but you go to Sweetwater and you will see some of these Access cut Floyd Roses. But what's with this ugly DC rust or this ugly green? And why does it have to be $5,500? $6,000. This one doesn't even have a tremolo. But let's say you like the red. Well, I think that looks cool, but I don't have $7,700 when I could frankly just get a custom shop from another company to build it to my specs. And again, I don't think you're going to get stainless steel frets. They're going to be little tiny frets. You have to buy this from Gibson. So this is kind of cool. This is unique. I don't know how much this weighs. It's got the comfort cut. So yeah, if we just go here and we look at the SGs, let's look at the Flying Vs. And again, you want a Floyd Rose? Do you have 8,000 bucks to spend? Do you want a Flying V that has a burst finish or something that other than just a mahogany or a solid color? Well, if you do, you'll be spending $8,000. And even then, you probably aren't getting a guitar that is flawless versus going to like Tom Anderson or Sir. So it's just a constant frustration that I have with Gibson because I do prefer the Gibson neck feel. I do like a 24.75 scale length. I do like the way they look. I just don't like the fact that we're being ripped off when it comes to some of these finishes. Every once in a while you will get a guitar that has a very cool sunburst finish, whether it's on a Les Paul or on a Flying V. But of course, you have to pay $8,000, $7,000, $10,000, which is really why I've stopped buying anything Gibson or even Epiphone related. I'm not going to give them my money anymore for these guitars that I don't even really like. Okay, here's a cool one here. Oh, but it's $6,600. Okay, well, here's a nice one. Let's look at this one. This is an exclusive. Let's click on this, and it's not loading. So as much as I would like to get this, or something similar with this type of finish, I know for a fact that it looks like these have fret nibs. They're little tiny frets, and they're not even stainless steel. And there's a good chance this is a heavy guitar too. Maybe not, but I just look at the size of these frets and it drives me crazy. And what if I want a Kahler? What if I want a Floyd Rose? Well, they don't offer that. Maybe you want a different color. Well, you can't get it. Maybe you want a flame top. Why can't we get a AAA flame top? And maybe they charge $3,000 for that. Let's even bump it up to $3,200. Nope, they don't make it. You have to go to the custom shop when they have runs, and maybe they offer it, and you're up at $6,000, $7,000, or maybe they're doing a historic reissue or like an artist model, $10,000. Koa top, 7,000. Let's see what we have here. Again, very cool, very unique compared to the standard run, but I don't have $7,000 to spend. Let's keep going down here. All right, that's all they have. Let's go to the historic collection and see what we have here. 6,600 bucks. 6,600, 5,500. Let's keep scrolling down here. $10,000. Now I know that Gibson bought Kramer, but none of their stuff is made in the USA. I've heard and seen pretty bad reviews with quality control. So I'm just disappointed that we don't have access to a little bit more modern features that still retain the look of a Gibson. You know, Dean Guitars doesn't seem to have a big selection. Hammer Guitars doesn't exist anymore. So if you want to get a Flying V or an Explorer body with a fast neck, big frets, let's go stainless steel, let's put a locking trim on it, you're just out of luck. It's really frustrating that there's just no desire, no appetite for Gibson to do something different. And maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe everyone out there really is just obsessed with these vintage specs or close to vintage specs because they're just wanting to buy what Jimmy Page played or what Jimi Hendrix played. I mean, at least this is something, right? It's not my favorite color. There's things that I would change about this, but I guess this is what you're stuck with. Yeah. Anyways, if you found this video useful or insightful, or if you have thoughts, Share them down